Hey there, Converge Nation. Pastor Ray here with Pastor Dr. Stephen Jones, who, man, just delivered a life-giving message as part of our current sermon series that we're calling That's My Jam. It's also Sunday Fun Days here at Converge Church. It's one of our traditions where we have a fun theme every Sunday. This Sunday, our theme was Be the Light, and hence the bright orange members-only jacket. Dr. Jones is off script, but we'll give him a pass. But
bright as I can get.
No, Dr. Jones, you just ministered a timely, life-giving word that was actually prophetic in its tone and tenor. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration for that message.
Well, I mean, the inspiration is really what we've been seeing in the world, right? From a socio-economical to a political, within the families, wars and rumors of wars, religious and ideologies, and where people may be anxious about what they're seeing coming upon the world, right? And so at the end of the day, it's really the message that the Lord put on my heart to share with the people of God, letting them know that in Him, it's going to be all right.
It's going to be all right. That was the title of your message, and man, you blew the roof off the building. It's going to be all right. Your anchor text, yes. Psalm 24,
yes.
Right? Verses 1 and 2, man, just the assurance
yes.
that we find in those verses. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, God, right? And so at the end of the day, without regard for what you see, power struggles, political struggles, different financial or economic struggles, at the end of the day, the earth is the Lord.
Come on.
Right? And the fullness thereof, and all they that dwell therein. And so without regard to what you're seeing, you can be assured that in the middle of all this, God has His hand on everything.
Wow,
yeah.
Wow,
yeah.
wow. And I think that's a great place to start, right?
Yeah.
This awareness
yes.
of the sovereignty of God,
yeah.
that He's in charge of it all. He holds the world in His hand. I think one of the things that really stood out to me also was what you highlighted, sort of this exchange between Job and God.
Oh, yeah.
Job 38, 39, and 40. I think it's so powerful because it's almost it's like God is saying, hey man, where were you?
Yeah, exactly.
When I was putting all this together,
yeah.
And you have the audacity, to question or to doubt.
He said, step up to the mic.
Right.
If you want to debate me, tell me.
Yeah.
Can you answer these questions? And I thought it was important to walk through the scriptures. Now we summarized it and didn't get everything in chapters 38, 39, and 40. But we got the highlights, and I think the highlights illustrated that God was challenging Job and his supposed understanding about what God was doing and God alone. I mean, again, God said there are no gods beside me.
Come on.
You're not going to stand before God at the judgment and say, hey, you know what? If I hadn't helped you out, God, it was a good thing that we teamed up on it. God said, wait a minute. No, that's not going to happen. No flesh will glory in me.
Will glory in my presence. I love what God says. He asked, where were you?
Where were you?
What I was doing. And so I think sometimes we're guilty of it.
Yes.
Right? When we don't see God at work, we start to ask all these questions and maybe even challenge, God when He's there or has been there the whole time. You mentioned that He's Alpha, Omega.
He's Alpha.
First and the last, beginning and end.
That's right.
Psalm 24 closes with what you mentioned, what you call the coronation.
Yes.
And even that call and response, right? That happens at the city gates as the warriors, as the soldiers come home from a victorious battle. Tell us a little bit about that. Why is that so important? I think as the exclamation point, the book ends on Psalm 24.
Yes.
But something we need to be mindful of as we navigate these tensions we're experiencing in the world today.
Well, I mean, I think I started with the idea, trying to illustrate the importance of the Ark of the Covenant, being the presence of God, right? And the recognition that David had in it being one of his principal aims to get the Ark back into Jerusalem, right? And because the presence of God in the midst of the people of God bring the joy, the power, the victory, the salvation of God, What the people of God realized is when they went out to battle, if they took the ark of God with them,
Come on.
they would be victorious.
Yeah,
right?
victory was assured.
Victory was assured. And when they returned, having been victorious, they cried out at the gates of the city. How's it go? I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's be lifted up the everlasting doors. Or who was the King of Glory?
Who is the King of Glory?
Right.
Yes, and from the inside, or they exclaim from the inside, who is this King of Glory? Right. And then the men coming from battle says, he is the Almighty. He is the
Lord mighty in battle.
Mighty in battle.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And so it is that call and response, that exchange, which is powerful.
Incredible.
Because it then establishes God as the reason for the victory, because he is the Lord mighty in battle.
Come on.
Right? And it is because of him that they have returned victorious, and they stand at the gates declaring, this is the Lord, the King of Glory shall come in. Who is this King of Glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Who is this King of Glory? He is the Lord of hosts, right? And that is just a powerful closing scene for the 24th Psalm.
Powerful indeed.
Yeah.
I think we can take that forward this week. In fact, first off, I encourage you to download or to watch the sermon from today, Dr. Jones. It's going to be all right. It's available on demand on YouTube, on Facebook. You definitely want to check it out. But I think we take that same mindset into the week.
Yes.
That it's going to be all right. And this is why we know it's going to be all right, because the presence of the Lord is with us.
That's right.
And just as the Ark of the Covenant represented the presence of God, and it brought blessing and favor and victory, likewise, we can live with this awareness that God is with us. He promised never to leave us, never to forsake us. Any final words, Dr. Jones?
I think the only final word would be, and I shared within the message, the idea of one's orthodoxy in their orthopraxy, and that the scriptures illustrate the importance of both aligning what we think, what we believe, our heart, with what we do.
Yeah.
And the reason why it's important that God said he's working within us both to will and to do, because one without the other is hypocrisy.
So good, man. So our orthodoxy, what we believe, has to match our orthopraxy, which is our behaviors, our actions. Yeah. Anything otherwise would be hypocrisy.
It would be hypocrisy.
Powerful, man. Listen, it's going to be all right.
It's going to be all
Check
right.
it out. YouTube. On demand, We Are Converge, youtube.com/We Are Converge, or facebook.com/We Are Converge. Incredible word. Thank you for encouraging us, man. It was life-giving and life-changing. Love you.
God, love you too.
God bless you.